already, hello and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing on with our garbage truck build. I think when we're done the garbage truck, I'm going to turn this chassis into a tow truck. So stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting. And then maybe something else. Okay, so for now, focusing on the garbage truck. So in the last video, we did a couple things. We got the bin doing some things. So I found some trash and I found some dust. So what I'm going to try and do is I want to try and combine all these together and see if we can make something neat. So the first thing we want to do is I want to get this part moving. So we're going to create a prismatic between here and maybe here. That could probably work. I think so. Copy. Actually, let's see if it's gonna work here. Okay, perfect. Then what we want to do is for the prismatic, we're gonna put this inside the hand bin, and we're gonna add the actions for the code to the hand bin. So we're making a motor. And then max motor force, obviously we want to set that to infinite as well. That just allows us to move the object. And then we could say limits enabled, and then our upper limit is 5. We could say 4, maybe 3.5, right? We don't want to come past this outer edge. And then 0. So let's just put that velocity to 1, and let's just see what happens here. Hopefully it'll move back. Let's try -1. No. Okay. Is this part anchored? It is not. It doesn't have. What's going on here with this? What's going on with this thing here? Maybe set the upper limit to 0, and then maybe we'll set the lower limit to 3.5. Let's try that. No, that never moved. Okay, let's check the velocity to 1. There we go. Except it is going the wrong way. So we want this to be 3.5. That's right, and this can be 0. Velocity of 1. That should be enough to push it out, right? Oh, I can see it in there. Velocity 1. Is that going to be negative 3.5? Let's try that. See if it goes the other way then. Oh boy. I want to keep running over there so I can see it move. Oh, it's moving out. I see. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. What is going on here? This isn't supposed to be welded to anything. Maybe I have to set it to... Shouldn't have to set it to can collide false. You see, it's not touching. It's not touching. Why is it trying to pull the whole plate out, I wonder? Let's try that. Oh, you know why? No, actually, I don't know why. I was going to say maybe because it's attached to here. But is that... Should be there and there. Strange. I really don't understand this. Okay, let me just try and rotate this. Doesn't make any sense to me. Right? You see how it's pushing that whole panel? Why is it pushing that whole panel? Which part is this? Yeah, that part can be welded. But this part here, oh, you know what? Let's show welds here. Yeah, there's a weld to it. That's welded to it. What's this one here? That's the lock. Oh, I see. I see. So if we get rid of that, and then that's 4. Is it this one here? And then we'll create a weld to there. There we go. And then we can drag that into here. We can call that lock. Perfect. There we go. And then now we can take this there and we can drag that into here and we can call that lock. Alrighty. Where's that constraint? That's for that. Okay, so there isn't actually a lock on this little part here that swings. So what we'll do is I'll call this lock B, or we can even say lock P, like lock prismatic. And then this one here, we can just say lock, we create this here to here, drag this into here, and we can rename that to lock B. And then in the code, we just need to say, script parent dot lock B dot enabled equals false, right? So we'll just tell it to wait just a second, and then we'll tell it to wait just a second after that, and then it can do its thing, and then we'll say wait, I don't know, let's say 10 seconds, and then we'll say script dot parent dot lock B dot enabled equals true. All right, and then we can say here script dot parent dot lock B dot enabled equals false. We can wait a split second, let it do its thing, and then it waits, it destroys the welds, and then after it destroys the weld, we can lock it. Script parent dot lock B dot enable equals true. And here we'll just say, we'll tell it to wait another 5 seconds. There we go. All right, now what I have here is this is code to spawn objects. We'll go over that in just a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trash, I'm going to put it inside a folder, and then when this bin dumps, it's going to spawn this trash here, and then this prismatic is going to move the trash. Well, yeah, it actually won't move right now because I have it locked in place. So if we say lock prismatic, if I went, no, let's see there, let's take prismatic, velocity 0. Oh no, we're still testing to see which way it's going to go. So let's turn this enabled false right now. It'll make sense in a moment. Yeah, so you see how that's back here? So when we take the bin, and then we empty the bin, it's going to do that. What's this? Oh, that's the code I have in there. Okay, perfect, and that's that. And then it drops it. See, just like that, perfect. It turns it back to 0. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. And then we'll be able to move the prismatic. So then what we need to do, so we need, I guess I could separate this into two functions. So let's see if we take the hand in and we duplicate it to there. Probably what I'll do is I'm going to change out these. No, we need that one. I'm going to change out the proximity prompts, probably to click detectors, and then I'll make this sort of into like a panel. That way it's not so busy in the back here. But that's essentially how that's going to work. So lock B, and then what we want to do is we say hinge. We're going to say hinge. This is going to actually be the prismatic constraint, and then that way it's going to be easy for me. And then lock B is actually going to be lock P. And then P, and then we're just going to test it here. And then this should be 1. And then this weld is not going to be there. So we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, let's see how that's going to work. Let's see. Give that a tip. Oh, you know what? Just a second here. I can probably get rid of this code in there. Let's try it. So it moves back. This one here we'll delete. Lock P we'll delete because that's not in this one here. No, it's in that one there. All right, and then let's take the prismatic constraint. We'll set that to 0. All right. Yeah, I see it's getting kind of busy back here. Oh, angular velocity. We want just velocity. Let's see, hinge dot velocity equals -1. Hinge dot velocity equals 1. So that's going to move back. And then we sort of dump the garbage. And then it's going to move forward. Just like that. Okay, so that's one part of it. So the other part that I wanted to go over here is actually the spawning of the garbage from the bin itself. So what I have here is I have some code. And it's just fancy. It's the car spawn code. And what it will do when the button is triggered. Game.workspace, find first child, player.name, garbage small. So when it spawns the garbage, it just should be players, it should just be garbage, honestly. Garbage, and then garbage. So, in the server storage, we need to have a folder. All right, so we go right click, insert object, a folder. In this case, I'm going to name it garbage, just garbage. Just like that. So then we're going to rename the folder garbage, okay? Garbage. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these objects. Let's take this object here. And we are going to put that inside the garbage folder. And then we're going to rename this to garbage A. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to say, let's get rid of that. So it finds it, and then now it's looking for a bin. So instead of bin, we need to tell it to find garbage A, which it does. And then it says if bin storage, right? So it's if there is garbage. Then what it's going to do is it's going to spawn it in there. And so we say local variable X, Y, and Z. And we're telling it to wait for child, we're just telling it. So where do we want the garbage to spawn? So we can basically pick a part anywhere in the workspace, and we can take the position of that part, and then we can tell this garbage, when it spawns into the workplace, it'll spawn to that position. So we could say game.workspace.street garbage bin. Okay, so here game.workspace, and then we can say what did I say, dot street garbage bin, and then we need to say dot, we could say union, and then I think we can get the position from the union. Let's try that out. Oh, I don't actually need the dot in there if I do it like that. That's cool. So if we copy that, paste it there, paste it there. So when it spawns the garbage is going to be named the player's name's garbage. Now, why do I track it with the player's name? What I have is another script which will delete all the player objects. So when the player respawns, it'll delete certain objects. When the player leaves the game, it'll delete certain objects. And this is a really good way of tracking that. The other way you can do it is you can put a script inside the garbage which says wait. Like here, for example, we can go insert object script. Okay, and we can just tell it to wait like 1 second. And then we can say, no, we could just tell it to wait like 10 seconds, and then we can say script dot parent destroy. It's as simple as that. And then in 10 seconds, that's going to be just destroyed from the workspace. So if we don't destroy it, it'll destroy itself, and that way you prevent players from being able to spam items over and over and over again. Okay, so let's just see if this is going to work. Let's just first off just see if this is going to work. Let's see if we can spawn the garbage. Now that's going to come in from there. Move to is not a valid mesh part workspace garbage. I wonder if that has to be a block instead of a mesh part. Let's see here. Or yeah, it does. So I just grouped that as a model. Okay, group as a model, rename, garbage, let's see if that works. It should spawn on top of the garbage bin there. It should spawn that little bag. That's what we're trying to get it to do here. Empty hand bin. And it didn't actually do anything. So I wonder if, what's going on here? Oh, because it said garbage A. But it didn't give me an error, so maybe that'll work. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. There's our little garbage right there. How cool is that? So, all right, so let's say we're operating our truck. Let's see, we're gonna open up the little part in the back. See, then I can change this to the buttons and stuff, right? You can, this is just for, so we do that with it. All right, we'll take this, do that like that, I guess. That might not work very well. We can say empty hand bin. Oh, okay, so now what we need to do is this. We need to unanchor that, and then we need to tell it to wait here. instead of waiting 1 second, yeah, it'll remove the garbage. We should actually wait 10 seconds. All right. Now let's see what happens. So we have our garbage bin. You know, we come up to the truck like that. We empty the bin. And then it should spawn. Yeah, there it is. There you go. You see that? Perfect. It just didn't do what we wanted it to do. Now we can have it spawn like one item. We can have it spawn a bunch of items. It just seemed to kind of let's see here. This part here is collidable. So let's see, if we duplicate that, we'll put 2 on here, okay? Now the union itself, if we make that can collide false, then the object, when it spawns, it's going to spawn, we just need this here for the base. Let's see, I can even make it small. We don't need to see the logo. It's just so the bin will sit. So here we'll get rid of the decals. Just like that. Because it spawned on top of the bin and then it rolled off it, right? And that's because the bin is collidable. So then what we can do is we can, first we'll do that, which opens it up, right? And then we want to say empty hand bin, and then it'll empty the hand bin like that. And then it should spawn the garbage. Yeah, it spawned it on top. So now what we can do is we can take this part inside. So we could say street bin, and then we say dot union. But instead of dot union, we could say dot spawn. All right. Dot spawn. Dot spawn. Dot spawn. So what it does is basically it'll let's just go over it first, and then I'll explain the code here. All right. So there it is. This will have to be moved up higher. For that, open up that, empty it. So then it comes in here. You'll see the garbage when it spawns. It should spawn from there now. Yeah, there we go. And then it came into the truck. And then you'll see here it's trash decoration. No. Where is it? There it is. There's my garbage. Look at that. And it's actually sitting down there. That's neat. It's sitting down there, which is, I guess, right. It's kind of what we want it to do. So now what we can do is we can actually have it spawn. All right. So 10 seconds might be a bit much. Maybe we'll wait 5 seconds. But that's what it does. It finds the folder. If this is in the folder, then it spawns it, and that's it. Really, this is the code. So you take a minute to pause it. So then what we can do is we can then, like, it should remove itself after 10 seconds. So let's try that part now. Let's see if this, it should go script.parent, dot parent actually, just like that. And then we'll say, we'll make it wait 10 seconds, and then we'll see if it destroys itself in the workspace. These are just props, right? They're not, these are just props. So we'll do that. That opens up. Then I've got the bin itself, okay? We'll do that. And we'll do that. It'll open up, okay? It rolls out. Oh, yeah, there you go. It disappeared. Look at that. Look at that. Fabulous. That's what we wanted to do. Cool. do this like this. Right, so now it's a matter of just adjusting the parts, just playing with them a little bit to make sure that we have the right, oh no, that's probably going to go up instead of down. Maybe we want it to come up to here. Yeah, that might be a bit better. Yeah, as you can see, it's not a perfect science, but it works, right? So that comes out. Empty that, right? It falls out because this is can collide false, but I'm going to change that, right? See how it does that. So what we'll do is we'll make this and this. I think I can safely make that collidable. Let's see. Make sure it all still works. Yep. That comes out like that. That comes out like that. Empty the bin. Garbage spawns in there. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so something's wrong with the empty of the hand bin. Something's wrong with this one here. Oh, it has to do with this code. So now what we want to do is we want to take this code from here and we want to put this code in here. So first it's going to go up. And then once it locks, then we want it to do this. We want it to do this. Just like that. And then we can get rid of all this. And we can say player in here, and that clears that up. And now we just need that. Neat. Now let's see if that's gonna work. Ah, that's my YouTube. Oh yeah. All right. Open that up. So there's a language warning on this one. Okay, so it's gonna go in there. Oh, there it goes. A little late to the game. So too much latency is built into the code. Oh, because it has to wait 10. And then we tell it to wait again. So we probably don't have to tell it to wait anymore because it already waits after it lifts itself up. Yes, 3 o'clock in the morning and my building's getting raided by homeless people. It's really tough. They just come running in off the streets. And the landlord doesn't seem to care that it's putting all of us at risk. So, anyways, it is what it is. Welcome to City Life, I guess. Yeah, so anyway, so there you go. Now it's going to spawn in like that. Perfect. And we can empty it, right? Like that. Oh, it doesn't slide. I wonder why that is. Is that Can Collide Falls, this one here? There. Now let's see if that's going to work. That comes out like this. All right. The truck I mean, there's not much we can do about that unless we anchor the truck. Then it won't fly like it does there. We can say empty the hand bin. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Bring that back out. That one there. Okay, so this comes up now. Oh yeah, look, it's putting pressure on that. So, I wonder what's putting pressure. Probably that. We could make this plate a little bit smaller. We can do that. And then this, of course, is where we can do that. So now it's just a matter of just going over the build, adjusting it. Like I say, adjusting, making sure that it does what you want it to do. That opens up. That can go there. Perfect. Look at that. That's perfect. It should spawn right on top of here. The trash. Maybe this needs to be a bit wider. Yeah, there you go. Look, it spawns into there. That's cool. So now you can either have one object. You could have a bunch of objects. Here I got a bunch of objects that can spawn. You could also put a bool value in there. Okay. And you could say while true do spawn, and then you could just keep this into a loop. So every couple of seconds it spawns trash. It just drops trash in there. There's lots of things that we can do at this point in time to sort of play around with it and just make it a little bit more exciting. Yeah, and then we can add the particles here. I was going to add the dust in the back and just a few things like that. But I just kind of wanted to. This almost finishes the build. What we need to do now is we need to take these 4 individual controls, build a proper control panel, and probably what I would do is I would make them individual clickable buttons. And then when the player hops into the truck, I would put a screen that comes up that tells them how to operate the truck, right? Tells them what buttons to press and whatever. And then the player can figure it out. I mean, and that's pretty much it. Unless you want this to pivot up when you open this up so you could dump the bale out. But like I say, most of these garbage trucks, how they operate is they operate exactly the same way as we have here. In here, there's a plate and there's a piston. And what it'll do is it'll push the plate this way, and that will just force the bale out of the back of the truck. So what you could then do, similar to what we did with the garbage here, you could build a bale. Let's just see if we build a bale, for example. You could do this, right? You could do this here. You just have a bale like this. Now here's where we're going to find out if it's hollow in here or if it's solid in here. So we do something like that. I mean, even give it a bit bigger, honestly. Let's pretend that's our trash bale. Okay, and it could come out to there. Let's see how that does. It'll be sloshing around in the back of the truck. I think maybe it disappeared. Not 100%, but no. Compressed garbage. Oh yeah, see, you can see it in there. See the bale in there? There it is. It's loose in there. It moves around. So we could then make this, we'll just rename this as garbage bale, right? Like that. And we can make it massless, so that way it doesn't really have an effect on the vehicle. And then we could do the same thing. Let's see, we could actually just, I'm just going to duplicate it. And I'm going to scale this here. I'm going to scale this here. This one I am going to make, it is collidable. Okay, we could make this a little bit thinner. And then what we'll do is we'll make the same thing. Just take a prismatic constraint. And we're going to go from here to here. I think we got to rotate this. Yeah. Take the position. Oh, my mouse. Take the position. Okay. Now we have this. I don't even know where my mouse is. It's right there. It's not working. We have this prismatic right here. So now we want to set this up. We can say motor. We'll set this up to infinite. All right, and then we can say limits enabled, and we want it to go to 5. We could say 10. Yeah, that would work. All right, and then again, we just need a button which tells it what to do. So what I'm gonna, let's see, I hesitate. Let's put the velocity at 0.2. Let's just see if I have a chance to activate it before it forces everything out. Could be negative too. Let's see. Oh, velocity 0.2. Let's try that. Yeah, that's the problem working with these constraints. It should push that. This isn't the. Oh, this might have to go into here, into miscellaneous actually, in order for it to work. Oh, goodness me. Really? -1. We'll just try that. I don't know why -1 would work, but. Doesn't seem to be moving at all. Yeah, I don't know why this thing is not moving. Stupid constraint. What's wrong with you? Oh, it went the wrong way. Ah, how dumb. Are you kidding me? No, that's not going to work. If I tell it to sit at 0, and maybe this is going to be -10. It's backwards again. It's backwards. Everything's backwards. All right. Well, I have no idea why this constraint's not working. I don't know what's going on there. Jeepers. No, it doesn't want to move at all. So it moved when I set it to -1. It moved forwards. Pound's not moving at all. Holy jeepers. Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. Okay, I want this thing to go to 10, and I want the velocity to be 1. Can we go to 10? Can we move like an elevator? And if not, why? Why won't you move? Why won't you move? This is not helping at all. It should be moving that way. Where are we at? What's our runtime at? 40 minutes. What the heck is going on? Is it too big, maybe? Too big. No, it's not too big. It has to move the other way. Prismatic constraint. -1. It's probably going to rest. This is going to tell me what I need to do. Yeah, it's got to rest. So that upper limit needs to be -10. Oh boy. There you go. There you go. Really? What the hell? -1 and 10. Just F off. Really? It could just, you know, F off. Oh, that's all I gotta say at this point in time. It could just go away. It could just go away. It's gonna be this stupid and frustrating. What the F is going on here? Jesus Christ. Jeepers, 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 jeepers. Pardon my language. I'm getting frustrated at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting frustrated. This stupid prismatic. Alright. It's just like the last one. Didn't want to work. Okay, now what's going on here? Can I make this a -1 then? It moved the one direction. Is it going to move the other direction for me or not? It just doesn't appear like it wants to move that way. I don't know. Let's try that. Now which way? Where is it? I don't think it moved. I think it's still in there. It's just at the front. Yeah, it's just at the front. I don't know why it's not moving. Why don't you want to move? I don't get it. It'll move one way, but it won't move the other way. Why? Why? Where'd it go now? Yeah, it keeps moving in the same stupid direction. This thing can get lost already. Is that gonna be it? Is that gonna be it? Is that gonna be it? Oh, Bill. Hey, that was it. Yeah. Success. Success through frustration. That's how things work at 3 o'clock in the morning. Success through frustration. Okay, so similar to, is it not gonna go now? Look at that. As soon as I tell it to collide, it doesn't want to move through this part. That sucks. That really sucks. But if I make it can collide false, it'll move through there. Huh. I guess this is a solid object. No, there must be something here that it's colliding with. Yeah, there must be something there it's colliding with. Let's make it a bit smaller. See if we can make it a bit smaller here. Let's try that. Huh. Well, I don't know what to say. I guess I can't move this through the thing. That sucks. It does. It really sucks. All right, so you kind of get the idea. I guess if that's not, yeah, see, it's trying to move, but it can't move. It's trying to move, but it can't move. I don't know what it's colliding with. I can move it a little bit more forward and just keep trying. This will be the last attempt, and then I'm going to do something else. Yeah, I gotta do something else. This is stupid. Alright, so forget about this whole bail idea. That's here. Crap. Oh, crap. So now that means what I need to do is I need to actually make this thing tip. Yeah, it needs to tip. So that means I have to take this whole thing. Yeah, basically got to weld the rest of this thing together, and then once I finish welding it together, it'll be able to tip up. But that's pretty much, yeah, pretty much what has to happen here. So we'll weld that to there. Just bear with me for a moment here. We'll get this figured out. Oh boy. I thought it looks hollow, but obviously it's not. There's just something about the mesh. It's probably solid, but you can see through it from the one side, but you can't see through from the other side. I don't quite know how that works. But there's obviously an object size there. I guess I could try and isolate this. I might have to isolate, make can collide false, but so what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the little bit of trash there. Yeah, that's what we're gonna end up having to do. Let me explain. So, with the small hand bin, we spawned a small bit of trash at the edge of the bin. So, when this dumps, we're going to have to do the same thing. So, instead of having a bale inside, I'll have to have a part just here. And then it'll just trash will fall out of the back of it. I think that'd be pretty cool, actually. You'll see what I mean here in just an hour when I finish getting all these parts together. Let's see. Since we got this here. Get me some more coffee. I have to get me some more coffee. Yes. 3 a.m. is when I get inspired sometimes to do things. It seems kind of odd, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now this whole part. No, I don't want these references. What's this? Is that from that? It is. Let's see if we take that and we move that into here. Oh no, I didn't want to just move the welds. All right, I guess it's all part of the same. Okay, so now the garbage bin. Where do we want this thing, the hinge on this to be? Here, I'll do this. We'll just create a hinge from here to there. Okay, and then we can take this here. We'll take that position, copy it, and then we'll take this position down here. There we go. And then we need another button. Oh, and then of course what we're also going to need to do is we're going to need to take this. We're going to create weld here and here. And we need to call that lock. Okay, and then we can take this button here, we can duplicate it again, just to there. And I know it gets a little bit busy sometimes, but over here, hand bin. All right, so we're going to delete the prismatic. delete lock P, and then what we want to do is we just want to say script.parent.hinge constraint. Let's get that hinge constraint in there too. Right, like I say, you can make a folder inside the vehicle which has all the constraints and all the welds, and you can name them, and then that way when you're building the code, it'll be easier just to quickly reference where they all are. All right, so hinge dot, oh boy, dot angular velocity equals 1, hinge dot angular velocity equals minus 1. Okay, and then we want to set the limits on this. Let's try that. I always want to make sure the torque is maxed out. Perfect. Let's see what that does. Oh, lock P. Okay, we can just reuse the code. We just have to change a little bit of some of the text around. What's going on now? I wonder if this needs to be -1 and this needs to be 1. Let's try. No, there's a weld in here somewhere with this. Okay, let's do that. Oh, it might even be that actually. And then let's show welds. That's the lock, yeah. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, so we'll take this bail out of here. It's the fact that this has to be moved out of here. This part here has to be moved into miscellaneous because it's being welded by a chassis to the body, and that's why it's probably not able to work. So we just got to do that. Show welds. Hopefully that'll work. Let's see what happens to the build. Oh, it's still there. I like that. It's always nice when it's still there. Hey, there we go. Check that out. But we should have opened that up first here. Okay, and then so lower angle 0, upper angle 45. Let's try that one more time. So we're going to open the door first, like that, and then we're going to empty the bin. All right, what's going on here? That's probably what's going on. It's confused. All right, let's try this again and again. No. why it's doing that. Let's set this one to 0. There we go. Just like that. Oh, I see. It's not locking in place. See how that part there is moving around? This part here. Is there no lock for that? There is no lock for that. So now with this one here, this lock here goes into, I don't even know which one that I don't even know which one that is. The hand bin, that's that one there. What's that? The lock prismatic. I thought, where did it lock it to? To there. Yeah. So, oh, I see. I disabled it myself for purposes of testing. There we go. And now when this opens up, it should open up and then it should lock here. We can probably turn that to 5 seconds actually. Wow, everything should be okay. Everything should be locked into place. So we'll open the door. Alright. And then we empty the truck. Just like that. Oh, you see? That is colliding with the tires. Gotcha. This part here is colliding with the tires. So we can make that can't collide false. That's probably what's happening. That's why it's good to test. It's good to test. There we go. Nice. And then the bail comes out. Okay. So now what we can do is we can, let's test putting a bail inside. First off, let's just test putting some trash inside and seeing if that will dump out. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Okay. So now what we can do is we can take this little part here. We can do this here. Check this out. Check this out. So we'll take this and we're going to weld this to here. And we can rename this as inside like that. We'll put this into the miscellaneous. Where's garbage truck model? Miscellaneous. And then what we can do is we can take the spawn code. I think I need this here. We can take the spawn code and we can put it in here. So once it's locked, we can then do that and we can say player because we get the player from activating the prompt. But instead of street garbage bin, we can say workspace. In this case, we have to name the truck because it's inside the truck. So that's where it's important to know. That's where it's important to know, like, 2017 game.workspace. Let's see, 2017 Mac truck. Dot miscellaneous. Dot inside. Right, dot miscellaneous. Dot inside. Perfect, just like that. Let me do that. Cool, and now it should spawn that little one piece of garbage that we have for it. Yeah, there it goes. See? Perfect. So now what we can do is in this model, we can now take even more bits of, we can take actually all this trash here. And we can actually, let's see, let's put it in here. Let's change this to garbage B, just for the purpose, just real quickly, just so we know. And then we can take this script, we can copy it, and then we can paste into. There we go, and then all of it should delete. Now, what we can say is garbage B, right? So we want it to spawn garbage B. There we go. Garbage. Come on, mouse, don't do that to me. There we go. Now a whole bunch of garbage should spawn. Where's the rest of it? Oh, it all spawned on top. Probably because it's anchored, right? Let me see. There. Alright. Third time's a charm, fourth time's a charm, fifth time's a charm. Yeah, so now as you can see also, I mean, we're what? We're about 3 hours now, 4 hours into this build. We're almost done. There we go. There we go. So all that trash is kind of just spreading all over the place. It's not really doing what I was hoping it would do. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's the size. Let's see. If we take this here back to the workspace, yeah, it probably just has to do with this here. Let's see. It all just needs to be close together. So it can fit in the back. All right, let's see how that does. That's a bit smaller now. All right, garbage B. Now let's see what happens. It's all coming out the top. What's going on with this thing? Let's see if I rotate it here. And then we move it this way. Like that, maybe. Maybe like that. Let's see. Now it's about the positioning of this part. It doesn't have to be so big. It could probably be a bit smaller too. The joys of being a developer. Hey, there we go. That kind of worked. Actually, that kind of worked. Cool. And it looks like it's trying to spawn on top of this object. So if we make that there, and we'll scale it down. We'll scale it down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Now let's try that and see how that works. Now the last part is going to be adding sounds. That'll be in the next video. That will be in the next video. Oh, perfect. There we go. See, now you can dump your trash. Now let's wait 10 seconds to see if it disappears. 4, 5, 6. There, look at it disappeared. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. That is going to do it for video number 4. I think is where we're at. In the next video, we will add sounds. We will change the location of the controls to make it easier, and then we'll add a panel somewhere for the players so they know how to use the controls on the truck. And that's pretty much going to do it for the garbage truck. We'll add this dust into the back. We'll add the effects. We'll kind of do the final sort of touch-ups in the next video. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you all in the next one.